Well, I'm back at my home base for this convention that has been graciously provided to me. Um, what I wanted to do today and every night, or at least every day, at least I'll try to because these things run pretty late, is I'd like to do a little thing of showing you all of what I picked up that day. And today, Tuesday, is technically not part of the con in any fashion, really. It was just an opportunity to go there and pick up your swag bag, which San Diego Comic-Con gives away every year. And it's part of the reason that I really like San Diego Comic-Con over a lot of ones, because yeah, there's a lot of expensive and exclusive stuff, and everything costs a lot, and there's tons and tons of stuff to buy there. You could easily blow both Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark and Scrooge McDuck and probably also Daddy Warbucks' entire fortune inside of 12 hours there at San Diego Comic-Con. But there's also just as much stuff as there is to buy. You also get a ton of free stuff there from not just the convention, but all of the exhibitors there, usually the big name studios, Nickelodeon, Viz, Marvel. They've usually got tons of stuff that they give away. And the con starts with giving you this every year, and it's a little vinyl bag here. Every attendee gets one of these, no matter how few or as many days as they're going. So you get one per con. They're always sponsored by a couple of different studios. Disney Hulu has been doing them for a lot, and they each come with an individual little design here. It's usually advertising something. But this one was the Simpsons one I picked up. Stack, man. There's several just like it. I saw an American Dad one. I saw Bob's Burgers one. And it's not just Disney Hulu. There's all kinds. There was a Percy Jackson and the Olympians. The way that it works is they hand you this. You don't get to pick. You even find out what it is once they hand it to you and you unfold it. I've generally always been happy with what I've had, but there have been some stinkers over the years. Not that I've just had, but I've seen. But at any rate, I'm actually quite happy with this one. Back in the day, these things are made of vinyl, and they're not that sturdy, but they're sturdier than they look. Back in the day, they were built actually worse than they are now, and they would tend to fall apart very easily. These things are actually little backpacks with back straps that you can carry. And I would imagine that Comic-Con give these away to hold or at least attempt to hold at least some of the stuff that you're getting there, because you could get a lot. So these have actually gotten better in quality over the years. They button fasten here, and there's a little pouch here on the inside that you could put smaller knickknacks, because again, they give away a lot of stuff, including what they always give away for the year is a small little pin. And lots of booths give out, or you can buy pins just like this. So there's a little pocket to put the smaller things in, and that's appreciated. You can hold that, wallet, cash, whatever you want to put in there. So that's one thing that you get. You also always get a lanyard to put your badge on. I've got my own this year that comes with one of those extendo things, because you do have to buzz yourself in and out. So I find that more convenient. But they give you a lanyard. Paramount's been doing them for the last little bit, so they did this one again, and this is for the Star Trek 60th, Strange New Worlds, and then the other side is Star Trek 60th Anniversary. So this is actually a pretty neat one that I would like to have. I've also had some stinkers. At least to me they were. I had one from like Dexter one year, which I've never seen, and I mean, I don't think it's a bad show. Not one of my favorites that I've spent a lot of time on. So they get that, these little bags. So they also have a little stabilizer on the bottom, so you can extend it out. They actually expand to be quite large. I wouldn't recommend putting a lot of heavy stuff in here, because it's sturdier than they have been, but they're still not that sturdy. If you put more than, I would say, 10 pounds worth of stuff in here, you would risk it, coming apart. It's sewed on here pretty tight, but it's not foolproof. I've heard that if you do break it within a certain time frame, like at the convention, they might be willing to replace it because they have literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of these things. Because everybody gets one. But if you break it, I think they'll replace it. And the other thing that they also hand out to you is the event guide. This always comes with unique art. They always commission this. This is actually a little bit less sturdy than they have been. Back in the day, they were actually like legitimate magazines with like thick spines and it had a lineup. But this one's they're trying to save, I guess, on that. So not only it's got a complete panel schedule. It's got maps. It's got a giant thing here in the middle that folds out to be the map of the con floor. So it is handy to have an analog version of this, but pretty much anything that information-wise that would come into this thing you can find on the app as far as like maps, panel schedules, but there's also lists of who's coming what, descriptions of programming, panels, a schedule here, makes it very easy to break down. So this is handy to have on you at the convention, especially if you have a phone that's low on battery or anything, but you have an analog version of anything you can find on the app. But the apps are very convenient. So that's what you would get just for coming into the convention that they give you for free. So that's all I got today. Tomorrow is preview night, the first chance that I've gotten to go to preview night. Now, if you get Comic-Con is usually Thursday through Sunday, so it's a bigger con than normal, just for having that extra day. But if you buy all 4 of those days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they give you the opportunity to purchase preview night, which is Wednesday night. Takes place from like 6 to 9-ish. There's not much in the way of like actual programming for panels. There's some, but not a lot. It's mostly just to give everyone who bought preview night first crack at all of the stuff in the exhibitor hall. You get to roam the hall for those first couple hours, and a lot of exhibitors do sell out of a fair number of exclusives and merchandise that first night. So you get first crack at like everything. But it's just like any other day. If you want to do the Funko thing, you got to run first over to get in the Funko line, and that's basically your whole thing because that's the whole line. That's just what I've heard, though. I haven't had the opportunity to go, so it's going to be my first time doing preview night. I might try and get a couple of things, but it's mostly to like if you're the kind of collector or a vendor who wants to get everything and have first crack at it to either resell or a collector for your own. That's what it is for. But it's also a good opportunity to get a lay of the land, as it were, to see the format of the exhibitor floor, where everything is, familiarize yourself with stuff. They do have everything is mapped by 0600, and they have the floor gridded out. But I've always found that at Comic-Con it is much easier to navigate and position yourself by the larger exhibitors, like, oh, I'm right next to the Nickelodeon booth, or here's Viz, or here's the Marvel stage, and because all of those are big, elaborate things, and it's very easy to point yourself in a direction by looking at it. So it's a good way to familiarize yourself with the con floor on preview night. It's not as crowded as the rest of the convention because they make that a little bit more exclusive. There's not as many for preview night, but it still is very crowded. So that'll be fun, and I'll see you tomorrow for that.